Grindhouse, man. I thought this was a movie about some butchers or something. I've never been to a Grindhouse movie. You know, that's way beyond my time.
Oh, please. You lived at those, Mr. Dolomite.
On videotape.
For those who don't know exactly what a grindhouse
yes, please
is,
explain.
Grindhouse was a style of theater back in the day, the really cheap theaters where they would show just these cheap movies that have been at 100 different theaters. They're usually no budget. They were usually like independent films, essentially, that were put out, and they would just run them sometimes 24 hours a day, and you could walk in at any time and watch a bunch of these movies, and they were all beat up. They were terrible movies. They were pretty much all genre films, and this is what Tarantino and Rodriguez grew up on.
Let me just say this, though. It's like, okay, Tarantino has been telling us since the beginning of his career how much he loves these type of films, whether it's martial arts or westerns or whatever, right? And his career started with sort of taking separate elements from all these things and writing a better story around it. And each movie has gotten closer and closer to the original Grindhouse films, if you noticed. He's just taking away more and more quality with each film and art. And now he's just saying, screw it, this is a Grindhouse movie. Where's my $50 million?
Yeah, I mean, see that's my thing. I mean, I know y'all geek out and y'all love seeing movies like this, but to me, I'm like, wow. I just watched a guy spend several $1 million to make what should have cost $8,000. Bravo.
Well, let me just say this. If this was a fight between Rodriguez and Tarantino, I would have to say Tarantino would. I mean, I'm sorry. I would have to say that Rodriguez would have won because, hold on, because I say what you will about both these movies because they're both not great movies. But Rodriguez made a bad movie on purpose. It had a story. It went in, went out, did what it had to do. And it actually kept up the energy the whole way through.
And that's what's great about this film. And I hate calling it a film. It really is it is set up and established to be this experience where you go out for 3 hours and enjoy this kind of experience. But everybody walks out liking something different. I walked out liking Tarantino's better. But I can't argue with you because, what you're talking about in Rodriguez's film, you're right. It is faster paced. It's a lot more fun. But I think the payoff at the end of Tarantino's made for a better movie for me.
No, Tarantino's was just a shaggy dog joke to me. It was that, once again, it's that long movie just waiting. And this is the guy who used to be. Remember when Tarantino was great at dialogue? We hardly wait to see a bunch of people talking.
Yeah.
No. Now this is like what people actually must talk like because it's really dull and no one cares. It's a bunch of girls bullshitting about I don't know.
Yeah.
Every girl I talk to was like, we don't talk like that. Where the hell did he think any girl in the world talks like that?
Where did you find a girl to talk to you?
Oh, your wife.
That wasn't necessary.
Oh, you two, stop it. Wait a minute. Let me just say that, okay, you got two movies here. Rodriguez's Planet Terror, which is a zombie flick, and then you have Tarantino's Death Proof, which is a slasher movie. And I thought Death Proof was a clever idea. A guy who kills people with his car. It's a stuntman. He can't die in the car because it's rigged that way for the passenger to never get killed in no matter what kind of car wreck you have.
It's a stunt car.
Yeah, it's a stunt car. But any chick who's in the driver's seat, or anybody's on the back, or if he
in the passenger seat,
if you're in the passenger seat, if you get hit head on by his car, he won't die, but you will. Now, that's a great idea, but I swear to you, there's almost 30 minutes of these bitches just yakking. Yeah. About nothing.
Now, here's the beauty of that, because on the poster it says, these 8 beautiful women are about to meet Stuntman Mike. And it's like, oh, he's going to be chasing down each one individually, right? No, it's these 4, and then it goes through that whole bit, and then there comes to a point in the middle of the movie where it moves on to another 4 girls, and you're like, oh, no, I'm not about to see this movie again.
Yeah.
Which is why the first movie worked on a certain level, because it's nonstop. People getting hurt and dying and melting and shit falling off of people and just, all sorts of stuff that's kind of sick. And no, it's not great. It's no more great than the 80s films like Street Trash and that crap, but it's fun. It's watchable.
No,
Whereas this is like, you wait and wait and wait. Oh, some people, they got killed. Okay. And then you wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. Oh, look, they got killed. And then that's the movie.
Yeah. I think, go ahead.
Did I see this movie? You know what? Y'all cracked me up calling this an experience. No, Splash Mountain is an experience.
I agree with you
This was tedium. This is like watching 2 guys go through their midlife crisis, except for the last 12 years. I mean, I probably like Tarantino's better because when I was watching Robert Rodriguez's movie, I felt like Danny Glover. I am too old for this shit. mean, a bunch of zombies. I'm not 14 anymore. I've already lived through that.
Well, maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's just not for you. I like the zombie flick. Like I said, it wasn't a great movie. But
Wait, I'm sorry, dude, but after seeing Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, it's like, hey, these guys really covered this and they put work into it. They weren't lazy about it. They weren't just going to play off of like, hey, we know the geeks will go like, yeah, this is cool. No, they actually made a real good movie. And here he's just farting around like going like, I'm going to make a really bad movie and spend a lot of money doing it. Isn't that awesome?
Which would be
no, asshole. It's not. But the Tarantino movie, like, I agree with you guys about it being boring with the chicks and all, just all the talking. But at least it was trying new things, and his actors were much better.
That said, yeah, this is cool. I really liked it.
Here we go.
Look, I think Quentin Tarantino is the better director. I think but as far as that script, I think the dialogue was terrible, and I think that that story was rotten. And they had that. Speaking of dialogue. Wait. Black chick. Do you know that chick?
Yeah, I know. You're gonna say
what's her name?
Oh, I don't know her name, but clearly he wrote her part for Samuel Jackson because everything out of her mouth was nigger and motherfucker.
That was Sidney Poitier. That's the daughter of
right.
Sidney Poitier.
Right, that's right. Because I remember she was in Rent. Okay, yeah. But
no. That's someone different. I thought you were talking about there were a lot of black girls in this movie.
Oh, you
say that word.
Wait a minute, we got to stop talking over each other because I can't animate.
Sure.
Yeah. Go. What were you saying? So I saw that in the credits. There's a Sidney Poitier in the movie, and when somebody told me it's one of the girls, I thought it was gonna be like Sidney Poitier in a wig or something.
No, it is the daughter of Sidney Poitier. She spells her name in the feminine version of Sidney.
Oh, gee, ain't that cute?
Excuse me, it's Poitier.
Oh, you want them uppity Negroes.
Shut up, frog.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead. Do you know the chick? I'll just put in a blank. Yeah, that chick.
Man, you liked her in this because you got a crush.
Hold on. I was going to put in something right here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that chick, whatever her name is. Yeah, she was like the black Samuel Jackson. And Samuel Jackson can say those lines, but she can't unless you want to put like a wig on her, a beard on her or something.
You're probably going to want to say that again because you just said the black Samuel L. Jackson.
You mean the female Samuel Jackson?
I'm sorry. I did that in the movie. I'm sorry. Thank you.
No. There's a white Samuel Jackson?
I do not want to be insulting Samuel Jackson on like this level of the web, man. Just
yeah, take that from the top.
No, okay. No, I don't think Quentin Tarantino can write black characters except for like Samuel Jackson. That one chick in the movie, whatever her name is, she was the female Samuel Jackson, and those lines were not convincing when she said them.
They were at first, but after she kept repeating nigger and motherfucker over and over, after a while, I'm like, I'd love to see the first draft of this script. I bet it just had like nigger, and somebody said, Quentin, let me see that. Look, let's scratch about half of these out of there.
Yeah,
he's like the high end Frank Miller.
Yeah, I think the first draft of this script was called Nigger Proof. and I'll tell you, man,
and I bet it was Michael Richards that told him to scratch some of those niggas out of there.
Yeah,
man,
you don't want to do that.
Too much.
What's that?
I said, man, that's just too much.
Yeah, you trust me, you don't want to do that.
You know, Michael Richards is sitting around somewhere going, "Why does Quentin get away with it?"
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, no, and he's gonna get his ass beat for that one day. It was kind of cool at first, but now I'm thinking he's one of them goons like, I'm a white guy that can get away with it. He. I'm gonna use it as much as I can.
It's like, if he wants to go back and impress us again, he should be doing movies about white men. I'm sorry, they're the only ones I believe when he writes them, or Samuel L. Jackson, because Jackson can pull off anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But really, no, I mean, did you believe for a second these girls were any girls talk like this with each other? I mean, even like these girls who were kind of like halfway dykes sort of in there, who are still being all macho, they still were like, no, I'm sorry.
No,
go back to writing white men. I mean, what's next? You're gonna write a serious Middle Eastern film, bunch of Arabs going, nigga, what the fuck are you talking about saying, nigga? Motherfucker, I'll kick your ass.
No, you know what?
Quentin Tarantino's said niggas.
Yeah, this might as well at this point. Yeah, and I don't know. I agree with you. He does not write dialogue for women that good, at least not in this movie. But this script was terrible, I think. I mean, let's talk about the trailers real quick. I think probably the best thing that was in this movie as far as quality are the trailers. They're short, they're clever, and they're well done.
Well, that really puts a magnifying glass on what's wrong with this movie to begin with, is that these movies are too long. I mean, for what they are, to be little bad movies that you kind of make fun of, they should all be not much longer than trailers. Because within a trailer, you get everything you need out of it, all the laughs, all the sight gags, and then it's done and it's out of there.
And the guys who did the trailer, they're all pro guys who are all friends with Quentin and Robert, of course. You've got Eli Roth, who did the Thanksgiving trailer. He, of course, did Cabin Fever and Hostel. Then you've got... Why did I?
Edgar Wright.
You've got Edgar Wright, who did Shaun of the Dead and just now Hot Fuzz, and then you've got Rob Zombie, who did some albums and then some other movies.
Well, yeah, yeah.
And then some films.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but those trailers were great, and just in defense again of Robert Rodriguez's segment, I know you didn't like it. I know you say you're too old for it. I still like zombie movies. This was not a great zombie movie, but I will, in its defense, I will say that I liked the gore that was in it because it was just so crazy, and I never noticed that it was like an hour and a half long. With Quentin Tarantino's, it felt like that was 3 hours long.
Let me just say this. Conceptually, no problem with this. I mean, I understand loving these movies. The Grindhouse, the simple, cheap, some of them like, might as well have been direct-to-video movies, just play to the drive-in, then direct to your Betamax. But why didn't you do that? Did you really need a $50 million budget to do this? I mean, it's like, oh, this is a labor of love. No, it wasn't. You were incredibly well paid for this. A labor of love would be you guys taking time out to do this sort of thing for yourself for cheap. Pay for it yourselves if you love this sort of thing that much. Both of them could easily afford it.
Why do that when you got like a whole legion of ain't it cool, nerds who are going to come eat up whatever you put out, and they're going to cheer. We had one retarded guy who kept yelling "Dodge, Dodge" through that whole. I swear to God, he did.
Yeah.
The whole Tarantino segment.
And it was funny because when the audience started applauding for the movie is when the retard started applauding. So I mean, look, I admire these guys' enthusiasm for what they do, and I do think that they are doing things and playing around with cinema more than any other directors do. I applaud them for their imagination, but as far as their execution, I question it sometimes. I enjoyed this movie for the most part, but it's not
art.
No, it's not a great movie whatsoever.
I still think it was pretty cool. Don't make fun of us retards.
And I'm going to just bring this back up so I can... Now, I think I know how Leon feels about this, but you white boys in here, how do you feel about Tarantino using the N-word so much?
You mean nigger?
Well, yeah, of course I mean that. Yeah.
What's wrong with nigger? Everyone says nigger these days.
No, they don't.
Well,
I've been watching Quentin Tarantino movies every day of my life since the early 90s, and I can tell you that the word nigger comes up an awful lot in life.
What do you niggers think?
All right, this is going a direction I don't like.
Wow, that's the first time I've ever seen a white guy get hanged from a tree.